far after seeing the first, but I want to see the GamerLegion that I've seen against FaZe and in the open qualifiers as well.
Yeah, look, we need to see more of that particular team, and the squad that we have been given so far has just not been up to that sort of snuff. Maybe it could be that G2 are just, as you mentioned before, playing against the pressure, understanding that they could well be eliminated in this best of 3 and just don't want to give them any chance to have any sort of impact within this context and just to move forward into the round 5 matches. Maybe that could be the case, but for now they've just got to focus on getting that victory on the board. As GamerLegion going to focus on their own map pick. It is the T side of Mirage to start things off for our underdogs. G2 up by 1 map. It's the BX to come in for the pistol basis.
Even Hooksy can just spot for some information, get that smoke down, get rotates over quickly, and Hunter can get into the backstab fast too.
Instant smoke down towards the back pillar into the market doorway. Hooksy will try a hole, but IEM puts him out with the opening kill. m0NESY with a straight back. Backstabs are in, and m0NESY does get a second kill through that smoke. Keoz to respond, but JKS claps right back, and Hunter now moves in. siuhy, I think, got spotted. Cool, maybe lesser so. And waiting for that move forward.
It's all about a patience game, and for siuhy, it's whether he keeps his eyes locked up to the apartments, because Hunter's going to come in late rounds.
He's watching for it now, the spot where Hunter is coming in from. Takes his tap to spot the player also out towards the market doorway. Is he where the second man apparently doesn't need to be. JKS is a big threat. Acor with 1 and 2. Now looking in for the third man of NiKo. The headshot doesn't land. The USB comes up better, but there is no kit. I don't think NiKo's got time. He's barely going to be on it in time. Oh, it's going to be close, actually.
I think he's got it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. What a hold. What a pistol for G2 again.
Mate, that is lovely stuff coming through. And how quickly that would have been combed over. Exactly where JKS died to drop that kit, to get over it and to back on the bomb. You do feel for Acor, because he does so much time wasting in that 1v3, but it's just not enough.
Once again to carry momentum. G2 leaving little to chance, even though it did come down to a very respectable position on the GamerLegion side. Bomb plant was gained. They're not going to force the buy here in this round. Upgrade pistols to go for another rush out and to burn and nade them out. Kill found on Hunter to start.
I'm slightly surprised, if I'm going to be honest about that, Jay. You get 4 kills and a bomb plant. Thought it would be a perfect opportunity there for GamerLegion to look on the front foot, try and see if they can force one of those 1-to-1 score lines and just get under G2's skin. Instead, they take it lightly. And unfortunately, they've taken it quite heavy with the damage. Those nades up there in the apartments did not help out GamerLegion at all.
Damage to Keoz at 13 HP. I am down to 78. So, of course, the execution attempt didn't quite go as well as they'd liked it to. GamerLegion now to rotate, readjust towards Palace and try play the A site. JKS and NiKo are the players that on the crossfire will adjust towards that. But they're going to sit back and wait for the time being.
It's just all about disallowing a bomb plant. The last thing that G2 want to offer up is just that extra cash injection. You got the Palace dive with a late lurk coming through from Connector of IEM just to try and see if it could pull some distraction.
Eyes on M4 in, IEM down. JKS also down. Acor 1 on 5. Nothing to gain for that. Maybe if he found Hunter or NiKo, that would have been some sort of exit frag to push out some damage, but nothing major done to G2. All 5 are alive, money builds. Bonus round in against the guns of GamerLegion.
If I can maybe sell you on the fact of what we've seen previously in Mirage, Acor dropped 47 frags against FaZe in that opening best of 1, and nearly 90 ADR, considering the fact that it went nearly 60 rounds, and of course 31 AWP kills. He was the top fragger in the entire server, so someone to keep an eye on for as the map continues on is Acor for sure.
AWP is in for him. Set back towards the catwalk, trying to look in ahead of the connector control. Smokes down to bottom con by G2. m0NESY put that up. siuhy will try and lean in for the contact. It's actually Keoz that gets the kill out of ramp. And that adjustment from m0NESY is going to go awry. siuhy with the pick back, 5 on 3. JKS in it dark has been unaccounted for. Just gets Keoz. That's the one pick found. No further reaction from GamerLegion.
You can see Isaac starting to walk out B, and this could be a perfect timing, but Hooksy comes back into the fold, and this SMG gets caught off guard. Real nice manipulation there of the rotations for GamerLegion, because they've got B completely opened up.
Yeah, Huxley was watching that short position, didn't expect there to be a player out of pallet or out of apartments already. They need to make the way out of palace here for GamerLegion. Bomb will go down. They must assume that the save has been called in by the G2 players. JKS backed up on the A site alongside Hunter. There's a couple of AKs they can pick up. Should go for those weapons for the bonuses in particular. M4 found on Hunter. The AK saved on JKS, so about as much as you can sort of recover in this position. G2 can be happy saving these 2 rifles, considering it was kind of a bonus round for them, so GamerLegion up to 1, G2 with another bite to follow up.
And we saw a lot of Mirage being played in the last 3 months for G2. They obviously took on Cloud9 only a couple of days ago in that best of 1 in the second round of Swiss. Managed 6 rounds on their CT side before going over to the T half and finding 7. And before that, they played it a few times in Pro League against Vitality in those semi-finals. A map pick coming through for G2. Had a good T side, but struggled on the CT basis. There's a lot against Tier 1 competition, though, and that's always the conversation, right? No matter how you're addressing win rates and victories on maps, we know for these Tier 1 squads, they're always playing the highest caliber teams on a regular basis.
That caliber that will aid them here. GamerLegion. IEM's not got a rifle into this round. He's rocking a Glock for some reason. Okay, he does get a Galil in the end. I kind of guess he forgot it back in the spawn. I'm just holding back passive on the defaults. GamerLegion expecting G2 to aggress here.
It seems like a B contact or a BXE. Isaac's already been able to push very far up forward. You've got Hooksy in a good range position, and look at the info play. They've got 3 on B.
Molotovs and flashes sent. Huxley and Muddacy and Hunter having the crossfire locked. Isaac will fall. SMG jump phasing. Hunter actually credited with the kill. Huxley just an assist. Smokes down towards the back of the pillars as Huxley will finally drop towards 1 casualty to return for GamerLegion. Muddacy, unawares of how close siuhy was, does get picked up through the smoke. So 3 on 3, making it 2 as Hunter also caught off guard.
You can just see the way that GamerLegion slow it down, work off of that util, bait G2 aggressively, and that's when they're able to capitalize. NiKo and JKS are just nowhere near this B site, and this should be GamerLegion fighting their second round.
At least in theory, NiKo's giving it a shot. Incendiary sent the header IEM will only just spread after the bomb goes down. Meanwhile, JKS unaccounted for here on the backstab. The AWP is being covered up by siuhy in a passive position. I think you've seen the gun barrel. It must have done. Oh, Acor looks in, but JKS gets the kill. Now looks for siuhy next up. Taps onto his general position, but can't quite find the angle. Meanwhile, IEM's caught off by NiKo, and suddenly it's all towards siuhy. Engaging. Can't get NiKo. Does get JKS. Swing for the spray. And NiKo's on 8 HP, so GamerLegion can't equalize the scoreline.
And siuhy's happy about that one. That's a huge 1v2 clutch, because it felt as if it was one of those rounds where G2 maybe look for an exit, see what presents itself, and then, of course, as soon as JKS spots that gun barrel, you start thinking to yourself, okay, we've got a way in. And stalling for time out towards Van, the in-game leader finds that 1v2. And now for GamerLegion, this is what we want. We want a battle. We want it to be competitive from the start, and now they've got an opportunity of taking a lead.
Yeah, 2-2 on the board. Looking from Keoz, trying to adjust against the likes of NiKo. Move that first element from play as part of a wider eco from G2. Huxley next man down in the mid control, so this should be a formality for GamerLegion to take the lead. Something that I don't believe we've seen from GamerLegion yet in this series.
Something fresh, something new, something that smells like victory. siuhy walking in towards B is going to be able to get all the information that it's completely opened up. And now a 3-2 start. You look back at that phase game, and one of the details that we noticed was lack of T-sides from both of those teams. So to already see GamerLegion up 3-2, that's got to be a very positive entity from what we saw last time around.
Doing well thus far. Honestly, at least takes 1 pick back. Keoz struggling to deal with the players in Connect, and now IEM next to task against Hunter. Muddacy to full distraction back to the stack. At least that 1 AK being saved. So small something to gain here for the G2 side, assuming Hunter can maintain it, because they are hunting him down. Ironic that Hunter being the hunted. GamerLegion dealing with the as appropriate. And Hunter will eventually drop, so the lead is gained by the international team, and G2 have a rebuy.
Now, this is where the hurt could be put up. You get m0NESY on that big green. You get a lot of impact around it. You get the rifles to follow. And for GamerLegion, it's going to be a test for the continuation of this first half. And that NiKo dropping a few weapons. The AK, of course, not quite staying in play. It's whether GamerLegion can hold this stance and keep it driving on the T side, because already it's looking so much better than what Vertigo did.
A quick in for NiKo's M4. siuhy not seen yet. Spray doing damage. Kill not quite found. NiKo's going to stick around, but siuhy's going to catch him through that smoke and continue to aggressive to connector as well. They're not quite ready for this. They try to back in towards that A side. They might be meeting trouble. m0NESY is going to meet trouble here towards the apartments. Shot and missed. AWP up close. Backed up by hooXi, who gets a double. But the trades are good for the T side. hooXi is the last man left. 1 on 3. Finds Acor at least, but a leg shot against him on 4 points of health. Surely he can't hold on, and indeed, he can't.
I'm liking this. This is a real exciting style of play that GamerLegion are bringing to the table. So for NiKo, that's a little unfortunate that he doesn't eventually find that kill, because there was a lot of bullets going through onto the spam, and instead siuhy finds the return. He gets up top con, mimics a lot of over rotations, and then even for m0NESY, he's just a little bit aggressive in the apartments, and they catch him. They catch him with the util. He ends up just dropping off. hooXi does his best to recover that entire round just from the archers deep in the short control, but that was a very strong round from GamerLegion.
Forcing out a tactical pause from G2 here. CT side has not gone as well as they would have liked it to. Also out that they don't win all that often whenever they play it. Of course, they do play it quite frequently. CT side usually pretty key to that success. The fact that this has gone so wrong so far, discouraging here for the favourites. In for Acor, trying to hunt down a scout in the mid control. Another half investment for G2.
Get that incendiary down there towards the window angle. m0NESY just has to relocate. Think about which way that scout's going to be able to fight. Top con, rotate over to CT spawn. And GamerLegion, I'd like to see what that Mach 10 of even Keoz is able to find eventually when he starts opening up a bomb site, because that could be a great chance to farm up more money and just put some further damage up onto the board.
Well, so far so passive, no contact established yet. Leading from IEM to try and gain some mid control, utility down and connector as standard. Drive a wedge between GamerLegion and G2 right now. Walking from the bomb will make his way towards apartments. B site is pretty sparse on CT defenders. It's all a ruse towards the A site as well.
Now, GamerLegion have been quite fakey with their initial stances in these first few rounds, just trying to see if they can pull a bit more of a bait over towards A, which is exactly what's happening. siuhy does fall, and now G2 might have the idea of exactly what's going on.
Keoz will try and lean in. NiKo might not be ready for this on the boost. Drops down. Adjustments to the shoulder bait. Hunter has seen him. Acor gets credited with a trade back, at least a 4 on 3. And that bomb's going to commit to the B site now, because Isaac has made his way out and to look on for CT players that are here. Ultimately, we'll realize that nobody is, so it's a safe bomb plant. And a retake that should come easy for GamerLegion.
They're just looking for exit frags really here for G2. Acor's been seen out in the open. Jekes is going to fall. NiKo could be on first contact once that bomb goes down. Straight fire onto the AWP. Does not get one out.
Yeah, crosshair placement was not directly on the head. Difficult one to hit there with a Deagle at such a range. 3v2 situation. And m0NESY has picked up an AK to try and abuse against the T side line. hooXi is hunting for an exit on Isaac. Trying to make it an expensive round. Unable to do so, though, so the kill's found. The 5th round also there for GamerLegion. It's 5 in a row for GamerLegion and all.
We saw Mirage being featured quite a massive amount in the 4th open qualifier to get to the RMR. Round of 32, up against Apex going into overtime at a 19-15 victory. And then saw it once more against Forward in the best-of-3 promotion game in the 5th, 6th place decider. 16-9 was the scoreline. 11 rounds on the T-side gained there by the international squad. 5-2, setting the pace early.
Keoz standing ready to receive them inbound from the ramp control. It's NiKo that gains ramp. Kill found. Acor's a bit closer than you might expect. Leg shot only. He gets the kill to double up.
And that just patience coming through. You could see the way that Acor was waiting for over-aggression, and NiKo's going to think about double facing back into ramp. This could be real nice here for siuhy if he continues to overextend.
Well, this is going to back away to keep his eyes on from Ticket Booth, looking onto that connector control, and NiKo covers ramp from short, or from close range, I should say. Wait from siuhy, might try baiting his man. Now he's seen him. Quick shot to back off. NiKo going to get in the dark and wait for receival.
Oh, just the support coming through. That bait and switch. m0NESY just driving the attention back over. Isaac's going to try and walk out on A. Needs to find the second kill. Oh, no, it doesn't!
NiKo's ready for a bit more. 3 in this round. Perfect stuff for him. Finally, the nade from IEM brings it back to a one-on-one. Should grab that bomb. Should plant it. But siuhy has been set up for this clutch here. Tap on default, trying to force him out from CT spawn. Instead, it's inbound from the connector stairs. The head has been seen. The engagement is found for IEM, who saves the round here for GamerLegion, bails out his team.
Okay, GamerLegion, they are putting up a fight. And are you getting sold now, Jay, that there's a little bit more in this Mirage after seeing what we've seen on map 1?
Well, so far, so good. I'll give you that. G2 struggling heavily here on a map that... I mean, again, they don't win it all that often whenever they play it. Well, they've got like about 7 maps on record, of which only 3 are wins. But they're all against tier 1 teams. Na'Vi, Big, Vitality, Cloud9, Liquid, whatever. Nothing like GamerLegion has give them any trouble at all. Position as a result. Quite a shocking one, but JKS continues to fight back. Isaac picked up first. NiKo aggress forward to grab that AK in the hands of m0NESY. Back off away from the apartments, or just stick around here, leave JKS to re-aggress. But eventually all players will vacate.
Well, I think more stock has to be taken in that FaZe result then. No matter how the conversation goes of FaZe not having the most flawless 3-0, it is still taking a tier 1 team, one of the best teams in the world, to an absolute distance, to 4 overtimes. And now G2 are waking up to the fact that this is going to be a challenge if they want to close it in 2-0 fashion. They can at least be happy with what they've achieved on the anti-eco. They've got aggressive in underpass and through to the apartments. They've gained themselves another rifle, and they've got 3 on A with the crossfire of the AK of m0NESY.
Here they stand. Execution inbound from GamerLegion. The 5-7 forces forward for siuhy. He gets that 1 kill. m0NESY's AK engages IEM. Drops that bomb on a cinder blocks. Keoz and Acor now moving in with their flashes forward. The AKs wrapping the corner. Hunter sees it in against Keoz, does his damage. m0NESY gets his HP and doubles up for the triple overall. A 3rd round for G2 as they finally lock out a defense.
It's just so much distraction in that entire round. You can see the way that it gets aggressive. They get the opening man advantage. They relocate m0NESY towards default. But then look at what Hunter does. He gets aggressive. He goes towards ramp. You've got another player towards underbalk. He's also pulling attention away. And it sets m0NESY up from that default position to just strafe ever so slightly to the left, ever so slightly to the right, and multi-frag to find so much impact with that AK.
Winner of the round for his team. They kind of stay in for JKS though. Keoz swung upon, double spray. 2 players to hold. NiKo gets credited with the kill. And again, G2 with aggression out towards the A entries have found the start.
Well, I think they've realized what they need to adapt, Jay, and that is aggression in the early round. Take the fight to GamerLegion. Don't give them the amount of respect they had previously.
Well, Acor has picked one back against NiKo, so revenge has been found. siuhy walks in from connector, kill on Hunter. The cousin's dead and buried, now to the 3 remaining players of G2, one of which is JKS. In Palace, still aggressing. IEM catching siuhy, receives some fire back from, I believe, the AWP there. JKS now just hiding, but I think being watched here. GamerLegion think that he might still be pushed up. Bomb will rotate. The AWP shot does not connect. IEM forced out of the way.
JKS just trying to feel when that moment is possible of him to start walking out from the Palace control. You got to imagine, just look for exit frags. There's nothing going to present itself for the retake. 2v4 after NiKo got the opening advantage. Nicely done there for GamerLegion. You saw the impact coming through from the top of connector of siuhy, and then Keoz gets involved with IEM.
Very good recovery for them. JKS will just hold onto the rifle. Is he going to extend out here? That'd be risky. See him tempting fate, hearing those footsteps. Don't get greedy, sir. See NiKo. No, doesn't want to risk it, doesn't want to commit. Good call, keep that AK. You're gonna need something to bolster around this position. The money's not fantastic for G2.
And just considering the fact that we don't often see the biggest of performances from IEM on Mirage, averaging a 1.09 rating in the last 6 maps played in the 3 months, he's been able to put a foothold when it comes to entry frags. Up there towards connector in the window area is where he's been most deadly. 7-3, GamerLegion eyeing up the double digits.
Or pin for m0NESY, misses his shot, and Keoz can get the kill to kick things off here in round 11. Quick storm up towards connector as well. Might just charge straight forward. Hunter hears the footsteps, but IEM uses that as bait. Another headshot, a 5-on-3. GamerLegion dominating in mid.
You could just see the way of the capitalization on mistakes. That missed AWP shot coming through from m0NESY, and then Hunter desperately looking for that trade frag, thinking, right, I'm going to dip out a window, look in for the quick pick towards connector and get back out to safety. But there's so many players top mid, and it's just that instant punishment. As soon as he swings out wide, NiKo hooks in JKS in a world of hurt. GamerLegion, they've got everything to play with now.
siuhy holds his line. Reaggresses actually in towards this apartment and gets the kill on Isaac. All important for some sort of levity here in this round. Is it going to alleviate enough to get the round back together itself? Molotov's in to try and block off the T side, but with that utility response, GamerLegion just go for the rotation. NiKo up in Palace, has a lot of work to do.
You've got to imagine here for GamerLegion, they're expecting the A site to be majoritively clear, that they would have over-rotated a lot of those individuals. NiKo might try and swing out, see if he can deny the bomb.
Was up high, detected, spray found, double up, not quite secured. siuhy gets the trade, and it's a 3-on-2 here now for the GL camp. G2 rotations in from Hooksy. JKS is already in the CT spawn. I think siuhy was just spotted there, the low HP individual in this exchange, but a crossfire in at Sniper's Nest means that there's no real breaking point here for G2. Back up, save the weapons. GamerLegion will take 8, the half on the T side of their own map pick. Exit frags to boot as well.
G2 having a huge wake-up call here on the second map. And they've got to start getting their act together. They've tried the aggressive approaches, and you can see what happened in that round of exactly how it got punished. JKS holding onto the AK, another buy on the table. m0NESY's got plenty of cash, he'll be able to get the big green forward. GamerLegion, this is what I want. This is what we all want to see. Because anytime you've got an underdog team down 1 and 2, you want to fight. You want it right to the end, and we saw that in the last series with 1 win, how much they were able to put up to Cloud9. While this is a completely different affair, we're seeing how strong both the map picks have been for the respective teams.
Second tactical taken here by G2. Right time to call it, in my opinion. Need to find a way to break this GamerLegion side and deny a 12-3 against them. They had the 12-3 advantage in the last map at the turn of that half. GamerLegion recognizing the importance of this position as well. Know that G2 might have a few tricks up their sleeve, so they'll take a moment to talk too.
And it's just knowing that GamerLegion have this strong of a lead, and it's not as if there's been any individuals that have just popped off to a country mile. It's been consistent. It's been overall very structured on the T side. The way that they're peeking off each other, the way that they're taking map control, the utility usage, it just looks very strongly drilled. And I think it shows how much time and preparation GamerLegion have put into their Mirage coming into the RMR.
You're right to give them credit to have contention in this series, in this particular map. Obviously, the job's not over just yet. G2 fly up here for round 12. m0NESY's AWP been struggling getting his shots in mid. Now blind firing when a core had been crossed so much earlier. Smokes up as standard. T's set and ready to go towards the A play.
You've got G2 being very defensive out on A, not even trying to fight towards mid. You've got no one in ladder, nothing in window or connector. You can see the way that the more passive approach is leaning out. NiKo out to the open, gets caught on a timing from IEM.
Perfect chance to strike onto m0NESY as well. AWP missing still. JKS now alone as his two teammates have fallen rotations. Won't get in time. Save call now for siuhy and Hunter. GamerLegion with 9.
And this is where we can start to really see where the struggles came through against FaZe and against Spirit from the Tier 1 opposition. How these games went to quad OT. How they went to double OT when it comes to the Ancient map of just GamerLegion looking comfortable, looking deadly. And even on that round, it's just a contact walk. NiKo gets forced out into the open, just trying to reposition away from Sandwich. m0NESY misses with that AWP towards back triple. He gets punished, and then from that point onwards, you can't imagine JKS is going to do anything.
Yeah, he was caught so dead to rights there at Dark. Needed NiKo or m0NESY to get some sort of kill, to at least enable a trade game of something. But like you said, NiKo caught in transition away from Connector. m0NESY really struggling in this game. Yes, he is among the top fraggers of G2. But you just think about just the eye test of how many times he's peeked out with an AWP, attempted a flick, or just locked onto a player and adjusted slightly to throw the aim completely off. Need to see more confidence, not just from m0NESY, but from the entire board of G2.
And GamerLegion starting to come closer and closer to that double-digit scoreline. It's only going to take one more round. And it just feels like the team overall is pulling their weight here for the T side. G2 looking for that response. NiKo aggressive down from mid. They can think about a boost up behind the smoke.
Higher angle for m0NESY. JKS, however, first to fall out towards the A player. They engage m0NESY. I am dead to him. There you go. That's a bit better. 4 on 4. A site's been left open for this mid take of G2, and GamerLegion are recognizing this, but they are backing off from both ends.
You can see G2 being very creative on the CT side, realizing there's not a lot that's been working for us, so let's change it up. You can see that round, even though JKS falls very early on, it's that aggressive mid stances to actually get the AWP towards underpass. Now, NiKo's clearing out all of these common pressed up angles in case there was an aggressive lurk.
Seconds, NiKo around the corner. AK engages the M4, but the M4 wins the fight. This is looking a little bit better here for G2. NiKo's continued to aggress, and Acor has absolutely no idea. 2 now left in towards Palace, and NiKo's dipping in for a triple. Maybe transferred to the Quadra. Hunter is there. He drops the bomb of Isaac to claim number 4 for G2. Finally, a bit of life being thrown by the CT side.
And that's what we want to see from one of the best riflers in the world of NiKo, just being proactive, moving around. You can see the way that he's clearing out Sandwich, Tetris, gets in towards main. And think about the slight reposition after that first kill. He deals with siuhy, he puts himself to the back wall, and he's in a slight off angle that as soon as Acor rounds that corner, he's just not expecting him to be there out in the open. GamerLegion bringing more pace towards A. Could be a set XE.
It's the ready, smoke's coming down, incendiary send to siuhy, tries to hold, spray through, JKS credited with the kill, blind past that smoke. First man is down on GamerLegion's part, the bomb will commit and it will get planted.
A lot of space and map control being taken towards CT spawn. You could already see Keoz trying to move forward.
Gap in that smoke for NiKo to see where players have crossed out to. He knows that Isaac is back in CT spawn. Nade to finish off the job against him. Now he's a dead man. 3 players left for GamerLegion. Time is ticking as Keoz ain't missing his shots. Adjustment to the heat, siuhy. And G2 are taking their time with this. They need to get a move on here. Utility, next wave, sent up. Incendiary, HGs, trying to force players out. Acor, shot missed out. The AWP and m0NESY connects. Now Keoz and IEM to hold. m0NESY gets his kill back. Keoz is a dead man, but they're not on the bomb in time. This took too long for NiKo and Co. as GamerLegion find 10.
That was just frustratingly slow. You could see the way that G2 have got a 5v3. I thought they would have just continued the re-aggress, knowing that you got a 2-man advantage up, keep that pressure on. Instead, you had players going down into connector, up onto the bench, back into window, and it felt as if G2, not only in that round, but over the course of this entire first half, in moments, have given too much respect, rather than just trying to pound the team like GamerLegion.
think to contrast exactly how they played out the first map, G2 were just all over them by the skill difference alone, let alone anything that we could see in tactics basis or anything like that. Fast Etsy now from GamerLegion, they go quickly into the A site. They've got JKS burning. Flashbang at least keeps Keoz blind, enabling a decent kill back from JKS before he burns alive. Munacy with the AWP in at jungle finds siuhy. It's a 4-on-3 as a result, but one player spotted at the gap in the smoke. That's Hunter. Dink down to 30 HP.
Bomb goes down towards default. This time around, there's a backstab. We haven't really seen that from G2.
Slow walk in for NiKo, but Isaac's accounted for it. And Hooksy goes drop into a 3-on-3. Flash in, he's blind, but NiKo dies anyway. Munacy's off, looking for wall banks, looking for any sort of way in. As Hunter's now dead himself. It's a 1-on-3 for the AWP. He just can't handle it. It's 11-4 at the half for GamerLegion.
What an excellent result in this first half on the second map. The map picker GamerLegion, they've looked impressive. And come the second half, Jay, I'm expecting the same thing after the break.
Well, for GamerLegion, it's been welcome to the big leagues, but for G2, it's been all about underestimating the underdogs. 11-4 at the turn of the half for GamerLegion's first half in their own map pick, and maybe, just maybe, we could still be seeing map 3 again.
Oh, maybe. Mate, I reckon this is sent at this point. 11-4, considering the idea that they were 0-2 down, this has been an outclassing position for GamerLegion to be in. It's whether G2 can turn things around, and they need to get started with the pistol.
Well, look, we wrote off the 12-3 half for one win, and we saw how that went down. So I'm holding my reservations for how this could go out here and now. G2 on the T side. Now time to pick up the paces and pick up the slacks, but IEM and ACOR instantly in with a double up of the pistol. Hunter and Monacy, 2 casualties taken. 5 on 3, up towards short, into the B site. They have got Keoz standing by, ready for headshots, which will gain the first of, spot the second. Third man should be detected here and connected very soon as JKS gets the responsive. It's him and NiKo, 2 on 4.
Oh, NiKo trying to get out towards the stairs, but he doesn't know about ACOR down on the exact same corner. JKS stuck in ladder all by himself to try and see if he can isolate some of the individuals. At least he deals with ACOR, but there's still 3 more to deal with.
An ace clutch for this man if he's able to pull it off. Bomb on his back at least, but CT's close, far, and every which direction you can look towards. Out in ladder room, really got no chance of escape. He's got to force the fight somewhere.
And you have to imagine, just with the idea that he's already in ladder, ending up on B might have to be the only option. You can keep looking out towards window and out to connector, but it has to be the wrap into B. Try and put that pressure on.
That's what it felt like it could have been at first, but gone back in towards the ladder room and in from the sniper's nest. Runs out of ammo against the engagement of Isaac. And loses out to the pistol of Gamerlegion, 12-4, and this definitely boosts their chances of taking us to a third map.
Oh, come on, Jay. How are you not sold on this, mate? It's literally 12-4.
Look, we were sold on one win, okay? I'm not going to get caught up in that again.
That's one map. One map.
I'm not getting caught up again, I'm sorry. Not until I see a rifle round. Not until I see a rifle round. I'm not going to lose my faith in G2 today. Pistols out for the eco. Again, no bomb plant, no buy. Look towards round 18. If GamerLegion win that, then yes, I'm sold.
Now, Isaac's got an MP9 that could be the van player or at least close towards the site center. You'd imagine for him, try and get as much farm cash out of this as possible. Try and get the big green onto ACOR come the next round.
Incendiaries at the ready for Isaac. siuhy standing ready to receive in from the apartment's window. Kill found on Hooksy. Monacy not quite dropping to the SMG. Isaac does get a second chance and does get healed off by a pistol as NiKo and JKS force out the fight to get the bomb down. So eco bottom line has been gained.
I got the M4 to work with JKS on 100 points of health. Try and see if he can set up a cross for NiKo, who gets aggressive towards Market, but does lose the fight to IEM.
JKS alone now. Tap on the M4, gives away his position, gets that kill. Now players from both sides, looks out towards apartments, tag to 3 and now to 0. And there it is. Defuse found for GamerLegion for the 13th. G2 now up to the bye. And this will be the decisive factor here. This will send GamerLegion to map point if they can win it.
GamerLegion, all about just keeping that focus, that driving potential. And anytime you're in a position where you're down by quite a considerable half, being able to get started, if it's not the pistol or the force buy, is of course the opening rifle round, and that's where G2 are come round 18. And they'll be happy with what they've achieved. They've taken some weapons out of play, they've got a bomb plant, they can be trying to look for that instant reset. We can see that siuhy, Keoz and Isaac don't have money in the bank. The only ones that do is IEM and ACOR.
M4s on all 5 individuals of GamerLegion. Keoz swings, gets his kill. NiKo with a responsive siuhy. Instant trade the same. That's apartments control. And if siuhy continues extending, he'll find the bomb as well. He does back up. It's a 4-on-3 for GamerLegion regardless.
ACOR's giving a lot of respect for a walkout palace or from this ramp area. Instead, just focusing the attention to connector and waiting for his CT teammate to catch the info.
Burst through from IEM. JKS caught off by ACOR. Double up. And now I'm convinced. Now I'm sold.
Only
Unless
took 14
goes in.
Oh, stop it!
I'm going to do everything I can to tilt you throughout the course of this second and third map now, as long as we have.
GamerLegion have got it, man.
What, the map or the series?
The map.
Oh, yeah, okay, fine, fair enough. Because you were telling me that you had the series itself. I was like, oh my god, really?
That's a conversation we'll have to dive into for the next map. One step at a time.
One step at a time for Hooksy, the same. Walking forward slowly into the apartments. We'll try and isolate a B site. 5 kills deep in this map, bottom fragger of the board. IGL are G2, so it can be forgiven, but in this set of circumstances in a 1v4 clutch, It does indicate bad times. Has not been seen by siuhy on that jump face. I don't think Hooksy saw him either. Now he has. Engagement. Kill found with the CTs. 14-4. And we are 2 to go to map 3.
And the bottom line here, in this circumstance, is no matter how well GamerLegion are playing, there should be no way that G2 are down 4-14 on Mirage. Like it just, in this sort of best of 3, when you're in a loser's game, when you're down 1 and 2, when you need to absolutely drive it back after a performance of a 16-3 on your own map pick of Vertigo, it just shows that they didn't come here, whether it was maybe underestimating, overestimating. I don't know what the mental was coming into Mirage, but we just have not even seen a competitive affair when you look back at the previous Mirages, and they're all competitive.
Set piece in from G2 to try and get some competition out of this round. Smokes down all to connect the jungle and stairs. NiKo with the Deagle combination. Minus can find Keoz up in mid. Hooksy is caught the first casualty out of ramp. It is a split play. And they're going to dismantle the split part of it in from mid. siuhy finding Munacy. 4-on-3 for GamerLegion. Now get covered off out towards the underpass controls. NiKo gets picked up. Isaac ready for the next. Does spot. Hunter doesn't quite get the kill. JKS bomb now pinned in a corner, and Akor is waiting for his chance to strike.
There's been plenty of rounds out here on Mirage where G2 have had opening man advantages, but within 5-10 seconds it's been responded back. Akor with the orb does eventually drop, and JKS, if he deals with IEM, has a chance of getting the bomb down. Not to be. Hunter the last one left.
1-on-3, Tech9 in hand, and no rifles directly at his feet. He's going to extend quite far out and try and probably get IEM's kill, and he's successful in that regard. Not ready for Isaac to be so close, though. 15-4, map point for GamerLegion on their own pick. And I'm just kind of stunned, honestly, the fact that we've had to see a complete role reversal. When, again, we could just consider G2 played fundamental CS and made it work for Vertigo. And now here we are on Mirage, and it's like the polar opposite in the other direction.
Well, you even consider the fact that IEM, Isaac, Akor, siuhy, and Keoz all together have less maps on LAN than guys like a Hunter or a NiKo or a JKS does. And this is the kind of result that we're getting on their map pick.
Perhaps there was something to that phase result. There's something to this mid control for siuhy. Hunter and Hooksy down already. 3 left standing for G2. Flashing for JKS. Doesn't even catch Keoz blind. Orb of Akor gets Munacy. And NiKo's in a 1v5. This is 16-4. We're going to map 3. GamerLegion have done it against G2 when their odds felt like they were impossible. When it felt like everything was stacked against them, they didn't back down. And as a result, we're playing out Inferno.
And do you know what's given me so much confidence as well, Jay? Is the fact that it hasn't even felt like a struggle here for GamerLegion. It feels like they haven't even been tested on this second map of Mirage, that they've played their own game, they've come out as a sound unit and just compounded so much death upon the side of G2. NiKo's going to try and do his best to get a 1v5 together, but this is going to be GamerLegion wrapping up map number 2.
Yeah, NiKo, the best he can do is just fight on. He's got no choice, of course. If he saves, it's done. And lean in for the CT side. IEM not detected. Akor is, though. And Akor puts him out of commission. There it is. Officiating the scoreline at the 16-4. GamerLegion forcing us to map 3. And I have no idea what to make of this series anymore, Dwight.
It's been a wild one, to say the least. 16-3 on map 1 for G2. 16-4 for GamerLegion on map 2. And you start thinking to yourself, map 3, what's cooking in the kitchen?
We'll find out after this short break. Inferno is up to decide who will be eliminated from IEM Road to Rio.